Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT podcast episode. Episode 145, the bobsled episode. No, we had for those wondering what the fuck we're talking about, we had a botched recording session a second ago, and Tyler perfectly started the podcast saying the word bobsled. Speaking of Tyler, there are other members of this podcast other than me on my right.
Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And on my left.
It's just Tyler today.
And across.
The amazing AIDS.
And we have a couple of things, nothing too crazy to talk about today, but it's a pretty short podcast.
We're
Probably
just
not. But no, yeah. But
yeah, fuck it. It's not interesting. None of this is interesting.
For those who didn't see my vlog last week, this is the first podcast that I am recording from my new house. Woohoo!
Hey!
Last time I had to leave the house to go record back at my in-laws, and now here we are. I am in my incomplete office that was shown in that video, but we are doing it live.
Yeah.
And this is also where I'll skip ahead a little, but this is the room where Aiden and I are going to record Elden Ring in a few short days.
Oh fuck yeah!
We'll just talk about it first.
Go.
Yeah, we'll just throw it up top first because I realized that was too good of a transition to pass up. But Elden Ring, I can't believe it's finally here.
I know, I was so caught off guard by here's the release time thread on Reddit. I'm like, why are they doing it so early? I'm like, oh shit, it's like really soon.
Because it's actually coming.
Like 2 days from now.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because last week I was in Virginia on a work trip, and I was like, oh, fuck. Because Aiden, I'm pretty sure when we talked like early last week, you were like, oh yeah, I'll totally be ready to record this weekend. And then, or maybe I misheard you, and I was like, oh my god, I literally have to drive home from Virginia on Friday, buy Elden Ring, download it, and then Saturday morning wake up and play with Aiden. So,
I mean, one must be dedicated to this craft, Tim.
Elden Ring.
I am. I'm realizing that I have not been this excited for a game in a really long time.
I would agree, considering I
this to
reinstalled
me-
Minecraft recently because I had nothing to play.
Oh, good lord.
Oh my, yeah, what a leap. But I don't know, this has been on par with, fucking the release of Breath of the Wild and even old school back when I was a kid, oh my god, Ocarina of Time, that shit looks bussin'.
Nothing will ever be more hype for me than the lead up to Smash Bros. Brawl. I'm not saying the game was hype, but the hype leading up to it was like no other game. I feel maybe Tyler with Cyberpunk was a similar kind of energy, but that's it's very rare to get that level of hype.
Not to duck off Elden Ring, but speaking of Cyberpunk, hearing about the 1.5 patch, I'm at the point where I'm like, maybe after Elden Ring, I'll finally record Cyberpunk. Because it might finally be done enough for me to actually enjoy that game.
It might be. Sure.
Also, just as a heads up, there was another stealth 60 gig patch to Cyberpunk.
Oh my
god.
Stealth 60 gigs, not something you can put in the same sentence, but
it's for me to go download that, I guess.
You know what's crazy?
Gigs.
I can't believe, I'm so glad that I waited to play Cyberpunk. Because I don't know how, what, are you two gonna just replay the game with the patches in it?
That's what I'm doing, yeah.
Really?
Actually, we'll be talking about it later.
Okay, never
Actually,
mind.
in fact, since I beat Soma, that's what I was gonna start.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Wow, never mind then. But I gotta buy Elden Ring. Speaking of, I hadn't actually pre-ordered it yet, and normally I wouldn't, but it's Elden Ring, so.
I mean, yeah.
Nah, fuck that. George
You get
R.
a bonus
Martin
gesture,
wrote it.
I have to get
Okay.
it.
All right. So the thing about this George R. R. Martin
I
thing,
know, I'm just
George R. R.
throwing
Martin,
shade, just to throw shade.
he wrote an outline
I know.
6 years ago, Tyler.
I know.
Let it
I'm
die.
just-
No, it's the meme.
Nah,
the
the
meme.
meme
Let
is
me
funny.
have this, Tyler.
The
The meme
meme.
Let
is
me have
funny.
this.
The meme is never ending.
Look, when he only has to write one thing, he's fine. That's it. It's just when you start being like, can you write another one like that? That's when it gets kind of iffy.
George, sorry, everybody figured out your ending. What? They weren't supposed to do that. What?
Well, then
What
I guess
do you
we're all
mean?
Still
looking
$60.
for the
That's
ending.
bullshit.
What?
Sorry, I just saw that Sekiro is still $60. That's bullshit.
Deserved.
No, I want.
that's
I wanna,
also a
Sure it's
good
on
game.
I want
sale.
to play it.
Listen,
for it's like a $30
It's
game.
one of those games where like I fucking suck at it. I may never beat it, but I respect that like it's amazing.
I respect it.
I do, yeah. He's not a bureaucrat. I respect him.
Speaking of games that are going to be amazing, fucking Elden Ring though.
Oh, I just bought Elden Ring. Okay, good.
Oh, hold on. I need to know: is the difficulty of it is supposed to be like a Dark Souls difficult game,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Apparently, it's not difficult in the same ways as Dark Souls, because like Dark Souls, you have basically the one direction you're kind of really going in the entire time.
Yeah.
But like this isn't an open world, so people have found that it's easier. Like there are still hard as fuck enemies everywhere, but you're able to like pick and choose your battles a little bit better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I and Aiden and I, like I said, I alluded to this, but I'm gonna boot this game up and play like the minimum amount that you can play solo, and then me and Aiden are gonna try to do as much as physically possible in co-op.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm hyped. I'm super
Aiden,
hyped.
are we trying to start playing Friday night or?
I'm down to do that.
Okay.
I'm getting the old boosty-roo, so I'm probably gonna take a couple days off.
Oh,
You know, has
The
nothing
old
to do with
boosty-roo.
Elden Ring. Has nothing to do with Elden Ring. You know, just COVID stuff. Gotta
Oh,
get
man,
shots.
maybe I should
and
just
whatever.
suddenly take Friday off and be like, you know, I'm feeling pretty burned out from this trip I took last week to Virginia. I could really use Friday. I've never
Yeah,
taken
man,
one of those.
you know,
I've never
I think
taken
that's
one of those
perfectly
video
reasonable.
game days off. You know, maybe it's worth to burn a day vacation day to play the shit out of a video
Only-
game.
So I'm embarrassed. I took one for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Damn,
You know,
bro.
no, that's not your
Yes, I did
fault.
that.
We were all lied to.
We were-
lied to.
Oh, Aiden, actually, speaking of, so you know, really funny referencing. So, listeners, so this past weekend, for the first time since my wife and Tyler met, they finally got to play Guitar Hero together because we set up a PlayStation 2 in our house.
Literally fucking 6 years in the making.
And we pulled out her 3 remaining PlayStation 2 games, and Aiden, it was Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero 3, and Kingdom Hearts 1 were the only 3 games she still owns on the PS2.
That sounds like a connoisseur of quality of me.
It's just actually hysterical that
Yeah,
she's
I'll
like,
put that
oh,
on
I
par
remember
with,
I sold a bunch of other games to buy Kingdom Hearts because it looked
Oh,
interesting.
man.
That's just one of
Well,
the
for Kingdom
one of
Hearts 1, that's
life's
not a bad
wonderful
decision.
coincidences.
What kind of shitty games did she have? Because she didn't even get.
Well, remember she did
The-
say she had the Inuyasha game on PS2.
Oh.
Because, bro, she had the PlayStation Hits version of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh yeah, she didn't buy that shit on release. No way.
Yeah, so I'm saying, what kind of shitty games? Well, then again, it's also GameStop. We all know they offer a quarter.
We know about that super ethical business model they went with.
Yeah, true.
I think I told this story to
Went straight to the moon.
I told this story to another someone else recently, but I don't remember if I ever mentioned on the podcast when I sold 4 games at a GameStop to get $20 to pay for half of Star Wars: The Clone Wars on Xbox, and one of the 4 games I sold was one of my brother's that I stole. It's actually funny. It's a game I've looked at buying it for him again as a joke, but it's $60 because it's a very low print run game. It's called Cell Damage, CEL.
Oh, I remember that game.
Yeah, that was Kevin's game, and we had a copy, and I stole it and sold it with 3 of my games to half pay for Clone Wars.
Damn.
But anyway, Elden Ring looks really good, and Aiden and I are going to play it, and it's going to be the LP comeback on the channel.
I am shaking with anticipation. Like literally, I'm so hyped. I'm excited. I have been. It has been so hard to dodge fucking spoilers on this shit.
Yo, I've gone
because apparently they lifted all of like their NDA shit So all of these people that got copies of the final version, like a lot of YouTubers are putting a ton of shit out there about like, oh, look at what I'm finding over here, and I'm like, it's not out, please.
Yeah, I feel like going into Dark Souls 3, I kind of overexposed myself to stuff, so a lot of it wasn't super surprising. Elden Ring, I have legitimately watched almost nothing of this game. Like, I didn't watch like Vati doing the network test much. I didn't watch all these other Dark Souls YouTubers, and I'm going in pretty blind on this thing. So this is going to be really interesting to run around in co-op. Assuming do we actually know how co-op works?
I have like a vague understanding of it. I'm pretty sure it still has the password system. And
Please?
there are like pools around. Kind of like, do you remember how the did you play Bloodborne or no?
Yeah.
Okay, right. You know how you would ring the bell and it would kind of just pair you up with anybody that was in that zone and not necessarily at a summon sign?
Yeah.
Apparently that's how it works. You have like these little altars you go to, and you can either like join whoever you want to join or randomly join another person's world or have somebody join you or some shit like that.
Cool.
Don't take my word for that because, again, trying to avoid as much about the game as possible, but
Yes.
that is something that's a vague idea that I recall about the summoning system.
Okay. Wow, that went on a lot longer than I thought, mostly because I helped lead us down the wrong path.
I want to let you guys hype
yeah.
yourselves up about it.
Yeah, but I'm really excited. Like I said, I have been searching for something to sink my teeth into that doesn't feel like a massive commitment, and an open world Dark Souls-y kind of game seems like a good way to kind of be able to take some time.
Ready for adventure.
Plus,
Let's
anytime
go.
Aiden and I get to hang out and play games is a good time. So
I like you too, Tim.
Wow, gay.
Facts.
Gay.
I mean, the way we bonded over Misfit, it's pretty special. So
Yeah,
That was a strong word.
show-
We did become part of his fan club. So I mean, like, what do you want?
Wow.
Speaking of fan clubs, you know what has a crazy fan club? Fucking NFTs.
Oh
Here
my
we go.
god.
Wait, what? I don't want to talk about this.
No,
So
so-
it's not what
It's not what you think.
Oh,
So,
It's not what you
so
think.
right after the last podcast, someone goes on the Magic subreddit and is like, "Hey, look, someone's trying to create a Magic NFT based format where someone will make NFTs of Magic cards, and to play in the format, you had to own the NFT of the card as well as show you owned a physical copy of the card from Wizards of the Coast."
My god.
And Wizards of the Coast immediately sent a cease and desist to these guys and was like, "You cannot say you're going to create NFTs of fucking Magic cards." And
fuck?
all the comments were just ripping into what a terrible fucking move this was and how stupid you'd have to be to fucking do this.
Yeah.
So when the article first broke, I was like, how is this any different from like Magic Online with digital objects, aka MTGO, where it's just you own a particular copy of the card that you can sell in the marketplace, but like the whole real world aspect of it was just blowing my mind. They're trying to mint physical things.
Yeah, so I just wanted to post this on here because it seemed like, you'd think with a game about art and everything like that, there's such a reasonable chance, there's such a good chance that some fucking loser was going to try to do an NFT route about this. And I will say, for all the shit that Wizards gets, it's nice to see that they are immediately, and to be fair, it's because it's not theirs, but they immediately slapped this shit down. Like, it wasn't even like 2 hours later that there was another post on Magic subreddit that's like, "These guys have been issued a cease and desist."
Oh yeah, because they're leaving money on the table.
Sure.
They want to do the official.
They're like, hold up, the Hasbro investor meeting's in 3 months. We need to talk with them first.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. The NFT craze needs to like.
Yamate
It's a
with
cool
that
technology, and it's great, and it's gonna do great things.
No, I don't
With
even
the
agree
whole
with that
JPEG
statement.
shit, it will. No, NFTs,
No, I agree
NFTs
with that.
fundamentally are like actually an important step forward. The problem is that like everybody's way too hype on the wrong thing.
Yeah, like people are taking the
Buying
shitty.
an NFT of a JPEG, like that's not where you should be excited for NFTs. But I digress. I won't go into that. That's a 2-hour conversation.
Just to back him up there, I'm after having researched the blockchain back in 2015, I was convinced like I don't get why we'd use this, and then I later went on to pitch an idea to the CEO of a Fortune 50 company that needed to utilize the blockchain as part of this anonymous, non-anonymous factor. The point is, there are very specific use cases where it makes sense, and like exclusive video game content just isn't it. I think that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Eventually, someone's going to find a good use case for this, but where we're at right now is just not it.
It ain't it, Chief.
That's our official stance on NFT Magic cards.
It ain't
Now
it.
go play
Chief.
Magic the Gathering Arena where you don't own the cards, just Wizards does.
Oh God.
This ain't it, Chief. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
All right.
But yeah, well, you know who, I was just praising how Wizards, made one good corporate decision. But you know who doesn't often make good corporate decisions?
Nintendon't. Thank you for the setup there.
Is it Nintendo or is it really just Game Freak?
No. So we're not talking about Pokemon. We're not talking about.
Right.
Right now, Pokemon is doing fine. They released a game that shook it up. It's being positively received. I'll let them have this win. I still haven't played this game. I do not plan to buy this game. I don't want this game. But I acknowledge that maybe they'll learn something from this. And in that scenario, I will praise them. But we got to talk about Nintendo doing other shit here. We'll start with the good. Yeah, and we'll start with the goodish. So I think it was the Tuesday, or no, it was like 2 days after our last recording, Nintendo had their next Direct. And there was, I don't know, almost no one knew what to be hyped for, because without being able to scream who's going to be in Smash, no one had the same thing to scream. So no one knew what we were going to see. Everyone was really hoping for Breath of the Wild 2 content, which I don't think we got. We got a couple game announcements. Most of them I don't care about, so I didn't put them on the list. But like we got like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 got announced. The sequel to Fire Emblem Three Houses confirmed. The big one that Square Enix has been like doing more and more promotions for Chrono Cross, a PS1 game, for no one knows why, for the last 6 months, and there's just been a lot of speculation like, oh, a remake's definitely coming, right? And they're doing this full-on remaster, but I think it's Switch exclusive. But that was like one of the big takeaways, because that game has not gotten a remaster, and Square's on this big remaster thing right now. But the biggest remake to get announced was that they're remaking Wii Sports for Switch. And I sat there and I'm like, why would they do that? It's a pretty modern game, right? And then it hit me. This is a 15-year-old game. This is a nostalgic game. Like the same way we feel about like Mario 64 during the GameCube era. Like kids who grew up with Wii's are like, yeah, my first video game. I can't wait to play the remake.
Yep. I
Blow
really
my
hate
mind.
that you framed it that way.
Well, like, because once I thought I was like, damn. I was like, this brings back a lot of memories, and I realized I feel the same way about this as I did about like NES games back during the GameCube era. It's very weird. Like, this shouldn't be nostalgic, but it is.
I mean, 5 more years and the Wii is a classic console.
Oh God.
I know. I know. I mean, we're at the point of these like handheld, like dedicated emulators are getting to the point where they do GameCube and PS2. Which is just blowing my mind that we're already there. But speaking of where we're not anymore, so this already happened before with the Nintendo DS and the Wii, where Nintendo shut down the online, what seemed like kind of early. The problem with that was they were running on GameSpy servers, and GameSpy as a network just died. So they couldn't do anything about it. But they announced, I believe it's in 2023, they're going to sunset the 3DS and the Wii U eShop, which, giving a year's warning, it's not like this is unheard of. The issue is that there are a lot of games that are exclusive to digital on 3DS and Wii U. And it's bringing up a big kind of question in the game preservation community of like, is Nintendo obligated to like make these available for sale on Switch? Because it's no surprise, Switch can run Wii U games. It's known.
Imagine that.
And the question boils down to 3DS games. Now they already have, I forget what game it is that basically is just emulating a DS game. But point is, they have the capability to do it. Nintendo's just like dead silent on this. And then they're not dead silent. They made a follow-up statement about it saying like, we are not obligated to make this stuff available for sale. Like Nintendo straight up said like, we won't sell you these games. And it's the most tone deaf shit I've heard.
No way, Nintendo tone deaf? Are you talking about the same Nintendo?
Look. I don't understand it. They're like they are. I'm pretty sure, like besides Disney, they are the biggest company in Japan. But like, it's insane. Either way, to tie this all back to Pokemon real quick. So, Game Freak is now like, how do we get people to keep moving their Pokemon along so they'll just stay addicted to our game franchise? And then they finally announced, you know what? So Pokemon. It's not called Pokemon Home. It's called Pokemon Bank on 3DS. Like that thing that we charged you $5 a year for. Yeah, it's gonna be free now. But you should download it in the next year because you will never be able to download it again.
Oh my god!
There's going to be a finite number of systems in the world that are capable of moving Pokemon from before Gen 7 into Gen 7. A generation where not all of these Pokemon can be played. Friendly reminder.
You know, maybe
Radical
Pokemon
Red
is
here to save the day.
Maybe we should just let Pokemon die.
We could just stop giving Nintendo money.
Well, now that they're not charging me $5 for my bank account, then I'm not giving them money anymore. So I've decided I'm not going to collect all the Pokemon. I was originally going for a living Pokedex. I have like 95% complete. It's just going to live in my copy of X and Y, and that's it.
That's where my
Game
Pokemon
over.
are.
Just
Pokemon
like
Master
Soma
anymore.
buried at the bottom of the ocean, just
Pretty much. It's just down there.
I'm just jumping
chilling.
way all over the place today.
Just chilling down there.
I think that was it. I'm trying to remember.
God damn it,
Yeah, I think it was after our last episode that the most recent Kirby trailer came out where he's just like eating cars and shit. And it was basically a replacement for the copy ability for select levels because you still can copy shit in Kirby. Point is, game looks cool, but became a giant meme to just like draw Kirby eating shit for like a week.
Yeah, as everything should have been.
Yes, that was the best.
All
thing to
is
actually
right
come
with
out
the
of Nintendo.
world.
It was the best. Yeah, but that's what Nintendo was doing. Let's move on.
Oh boy, let's move on to the other one.
So
Yeah, this is
Sony
new.
has unveiled. I don't know if it was actual press or just renders of what the PlayStation VR 2 is going to look like.
Oh yeah, that's new.
And started outlining more details. Everyone's hyping up like how vivid the screen inside of it's going to be. But there's a lot of speculation about whether this thing is immediately going to be PC compatible. Because for a lot of people, they're saying they don't want the Quest. They want something bigger, but they don't want to go all the way up to like the Valve Index. And they're speculating that the PSVR 2 is going to like live maybe like the $150 to $200 more than it's not called Oculus anymore, Quest range.
The Quest, yeah.
Yeah, to be like the mid model. So I'm interested to see what they do about pricing. A lot of people don't.
This is going to be. You think this is going to be the range of $500 or $600?
The current guesstimate is that it's going to be $450, but they're like, there's no way this thing can sell for more than the cost of a PlayStation. The problem was with the PSVR 1, they were selling it as what's the term for it? It's like a loss leader. Like basically, they're selling it at a loss with the idea that they'll sell you games for it.
Right.
But now they're not so certain about that, especially with like their production shortage, that they may be charging more for the PSVR 2 than they would have for the PSVR 1, just because they're not building that same kind of business model. If you're going to buy a lot of games, it's more of just sell it at cost.
Oh, okay.
So I'm personally, I think it's going to be more than 400. Like I don't think they're going to go cheaper than that. But I really don't think it's going over 5.
I don't know, man. I don't know how that's gonna like compete against the convenience of like a Quest 2.
Yeah.
Though.
The only like in my mind, because I'm actually considering getting a Quest pretty soon. It's are there VR games for PlayStation that I really want to play? Because that would be the one thing that makes me get this one, especially if it's going to have PC support.
Right.
Then that's that one advantage. But at the same time, like wireless VR, I kind of like that.
Looking at these renders, it looks like, yeah, it has the 4 forward-facing cameras. So, I mean, to me, that says that this likely doesn't require a PlayStation or like a PlayStation camera or anything like that. Because, I mean, this is exactly how the Quest works, and that's a completely standalone headset. So, if you could plug this into your PC, like,
oh yeah, I didn't mean in terms of like a functional. It's more like just a literally software capability. Can this just connect to a non-PlayStation system, which they're probably going to end up doing.
I mean, I don't really see how it would be competitive otherwise. Like, can you even think of a game that? Can you even think of an actual PS5 game?
I only want to play the VR edition of Skyrim on PS5
God.
specifically.
Like, I mean, they're honestly, for as long as the PS5 has been out, like, there's just no games that are for the PS5.
It's a huge problem because they can't give up the install base of the PS4 for games right now when they know like there's just not enough PS5s out there, which really sucks. Because I want there to be that killer PS5 game already.
I mean, Demon Souls is really good. Honestly, they shouldn't have made it a launch title though, because like there was literally nobody to play the fucking game. Like,
Yeah.
there aren't enough PS5s in the world to support the Demon Souls.
I feel like that's the reason why Horizon Zero Dawn is also like still on PS4.
Did Horizon Forbidden West come out?
Yeah, it did. I'm playing
Okay.
it right now.
I heard it runs
because all of a sudden in the last like
PS4.
week, it was just Aloy everywhere. So I was like, was there a big announcement or just it came out?
Yeah, it came out.
Yeah.
It came out. I started playing it with Michelle. It's I was telling Aiden about it. It like, what's it called? It's suffering from some performance issues.
Oh.
At least, yeah, like from what I see, like there's like if there's like too long of a draw distance, you'll get some popping. Some asset texture popping, and like when she's climbing on stuff, she like her arms like swing into the assets. So it's like or like clips through them.
Ooh.
I'm like, well, this is kind of lame. But so far it's cool. I kind of hope they get it fixed. And since I'm playing on a PS5, I was like, oh, maybe I'll fix the draw distance, right? Like the render distance with because you can on PS5 you can switch it from performance to like visual looking, like make it look nice. And it didn't matter if I put it on performance, it still popped and
Damn.
did a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope it kind of gets fixed, but it's all right.
Did you have a look at the Digital Foundry review on it?
No, I didn't.
Apparently, like, it's solid 60 for them.
Oh, yeah, it runs 60. It runs.
So you just mean like pop in and other shit like that?
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
There's
it's
no like
literally
performance
just
issues.
yeah, it's literally just draw distance things.
Okay.
Yeah, like texture popping and clipping. I see.
Just like,
I thought
like
it
visual
was
bugs.
like stuttering and.
I did get a little bit of that, but like only in
Yeah, I mean a
certain
little. I
points.
mean, you can't expect. I mean,
yeah, that's
maybe
why
you
I'm not.
should expect it to stay locked at 60 at this point. Like, but
Well, that's only in performance mode. It goes to 60.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only in performance mode it runs at 60, and like the game still looks nice on it, like nice on that setting.
Yeah.
But now I just wish at this point I'm like, well, I wish you guys just gave me like a slider to fuck around with now at this point. If we're gonna have two different versions.
I never understood that. Why is it so difficult to implement like specific graphic settings in a console?
So here's the thing.
Console protect from console babies.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Stay out of the options. You will need them.
That's why so much compliance goes into console games.
I still remember being floored when some of those first Sony games on the PS4 started having performance and like prettiness options. I still remember being blown away by the thought that they would offer even just a binary choice like that.
It is wild to think about. It just kills me. Like, if I want to run my game at 12 frames a fucking second at 8K, let me
buy a
do
PC.
That.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Just let me do that.
I mean, true. The answer
let me
is
run
just
my
buy a
shit
PC.
on a slideshow.
But I can't play Forbidden West on a PC yet.
I like how you threw the yet in there because after the way
Oh,
Horizon
you
Zero
know
Dawn
this is coming
sold,
out.
Yeah, this is the
It's gonna- it's
future.
coming out on PC.
All Sony exclusives, just timed exclusives going
if
forward.
only Bloodborne would come to PC, I could beat that game finally.
Yo,
Bro,
again,
for
you
real.
have a PS4. Get the hell out of here.
I don't.
You
I have.
You
Tim, you have
do.
two
I-
PS4s.
No, I
You have
don't.
2 PS4s.
Yes, you do.
No, this is.
Actually,
Yes.
You
This
got
is
3 PS4s.
no.
Yo,
This is
all right,
blatant
like
false
Tim,
advertising.
Fives are all backwards
I-
compatible. None of us need our PS4s. You can borrow them
I
guilt
have,
free.
yeah,
That-
we
no.
all
Literally.
have PS5s. You can have mine. I haven't touched mine in fucking years, dude.
You
I
want to
have-
play this game? You can play this
I
game.
realized that I was pulling out my Xbox One and my Xbox 360 from a bag the other day, and I'm like, man, these are gonna live in a fucking bag and might never be booted up again in my entire life.
But guess what? You got PS4s.
No,
You've been running for this for
You
years.
have multiple PS4s, Tim.
Yeah. You even have a dope ass God of War exclusive PlayStation. That you
Thank
can
goodness
look
you
at.
spent money on that, so that now it just sits there.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it looks
Could be
I mean,
nice.
it
sitting
is
in
a
your office.
really sweet PS4.
Technically,
You could
it's-
probably sell that later for money.
Oh, I could. Well, technically, it's not sitting around. Like, since I have the PS5 at Michelle's house, I have this here. So it's like if I want to play a
The
game, I was thinking
backup
about.
game station.
I was thinking of booting up Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. at
There we
some
go. Thank
point.
God you finished that sentence the correct way.
Yeah. No, I know what I said.
I was like, what is he about to say here?
You know damn well what I was about to say. Who was it? I remember my copy of Kingdom Hearts 3. I loaned it out to a buddy, and I was like, I didn't ask for it back. I didn't ask for it back. He's like, he was trying to get a hold of me, and I was like, yo, you got my number? He's like, oh yeah, you know, blah blah. He's like, listen, I'm trying to give you your game back. I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah. I was like, you didn't even beat it, did you? He's like, no. He's like, do you want it back? I was like, honestly, you could throw that shit in the trash. I really don't care. He's like, are you serious? I was like, dude, you could trade it in. I was like, I even looked it up at the time. Like, they'll give you $10 for it. Congratulations, you got $10. He's like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna chuck it in the garbage. I don't even want it in my house.
Damn.
It was really bad.
I'd say anyone, any listener can just put down in the comments if you enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3. I will not crucify you. I legitimately want to know if you like it or not. I have not met a single soul who liked that game.
I'm still embarrassed that like I like the ending in the moment, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, what the fuck was I smoking? Like this was not it was not
Legitimately,
with the
what was
emotions I felt at that
smoking
point in
the time?
time.
Oh my god. It's so fucked. We waited over a decade for this game. I hate it. It makes me sad to think about it. Over a decade.
but
Years
the
of
Disney
academy
rides,
training
Tyler, the
wasted.
Disney rides.
All right,
Come on.
We're
I
not turning this
know.
into another complain about Kingdom Hearts fest. We do
Yes.
this way too frequently.
That's very true. You know what we should complain about?
We should complain about anime and all that other weeb shit. All right, Tim, you wanna lead with the opening story?
Yeah, so last time on the podcast we had the special video segment where I pulled up screen share and we went through and we picked our votes for all of the categories for the Crunchyroll Awards. And
There, I sent you guys the link.
Oh boy.
oh, I was already there because I was
I want everyone to have this open
Yeah.
as we're going through this.
So I just wanted us to blitz through real quick, and just kind of not even take more than like 30 seconds to discuss each of these at worst.
Just acknowledge and complain.
But yeah, just to blitz through them real quick. I'll even I don't need to pull up video. I mean, everybody can watch from home. Like you can pull up the Crunchyroll.
Like we'll go
Awards.
through it in order so you can scroll along.
Yeah,
with us.
exactly. So starting from the bottom now, we hear.
Actually, let's start from the top then.
No, that's the top. That's the. Why would we start with the?
Oh, that's
winner?
right. You're right. We did in reverse order last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
We ended with the. Okay, so best VA performance for Japanese was the guy who played Aaron. That's not surprising at all, considering the nominees. Sorry, your Spider Show and Wonder Egg didn't win, Friedman.
Oh, I voted for Yuki Kaji here. Don't worry. I don't know. I voted for Natsuki Nai because I didn't realize he was the main character in Odd Taxi. Anyway,
best film. What a fucking shock! Demon Slayer. Although
Damn.
the only thing I think could have challenged that was Evangelion, but
Yeah,
Demon
no,
Slayer
it
needed to
wasn't.
win everything. So spoilers: Demon Slayer won plenty of shit.
it's gonna be it's Demon Slayer, Jujutsu, or Attack on Titan for all these. I'm calling it.
Best comedy, Komi-san. I'm sad about Dragon Maid because this was like one of the only categories it was in.
Comey's like barely.
Comey's not even
a comedy.
Comey's like it's slice of life. I wouldn't even call it a comedy.
Yeah.
As much as I think it was stupid, the Tyler show about the guy who's like a really depressed television guy seems more like a comedy than the fucking Komi-san. Best fantasy, Big Shock, fucking Slime won, even though Giguk in shambles about jobless reincarnation, not getting it.
We're both in shambles.
I will say, so we'll get to it later. Val and I have, over the past like week, completely caught up to where Ranking of Kings is airing live.
Ranking of Kings watching it too. They're hyping it up.
Ranking of Kings is really, really enjoyable. This is honestly a tougher category than it was before because Slime Season 2 was pretty good, To Your Eternity was excellent, and Ranking of Kings is actually really soaring up there for me. I'm not super upset about Slime. Slime had that 16 where fucking we had a Kamehameha in a show that wasn't Dragon Ball. That was pretty good, but...
I know, but there was just so much better out there.
Yeah, I know. Best action, big fucking shock. Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 won the second time in a row, only because Attack on Titan didn't look that good, and Demon Slayer was just a movie.
Just a movie.
I am sad that Vivi didn't win, though. I wish Vivi had won, but I could say Jujutsu Kaisen is more of an action shonen show than Vivi was. So
I'm pretty sure it's the one I voted for best action.
What? Jujutsu?
Jujutsu.
Yeah. Best drama, To Your Eternity. This fits better, although a little sad that 80 Shikso didn't win anything really across the board.
Oh, and trust me, 86 was not the best drama in this pool.
Wow.
I mean,
as someone who's now seen like 5 out of 6, 86 was not the best drama in this particular pool of shows.
Well, then what do you think? Should To Your Eternity have won, or should it have been Odd Taxi?
Honestly, Odd Taxi. I'm going to talk about it later, but like Odd Taxi was phenomenal.
Okay. Best romance, Horimiya. I mean,
all right, I get it.
That sounds reasonable from what I've heard watching.
The first 7 episodes were a great romance.
Yeah.
The last 5 weren't.
I think too many people just turned off the first episode of Nagatoro, and not enough people have stuck with Fruits Basket the whole time.
Damn it.
And then Komi-san really isn't a romance.
It's also not a romance.
Yeah.
It's the rom-com that isn't.
Best fight scene, big shock. Fucking which Jujutsu Kaisen one was it? It was the Itadori and Toto versus Hanami.
Oh, damn, this one, man.
The longest fight in the fucking show. It was really good though.
It was only 10 minutes.
I could have literally given this to any of the ones that I saw except for Attack on Titan, but honestly, Dragon Maid could have won, Vivi definitely could have won, the other Jujutsu one could have won, so like, but I'm not surprised. This was like the big one, and everyone fucking loves Toto, so this seems like a pretty easy win.
Walking meme. All right, prediction. Shigaraki, best antagonist. No!
Yo, so he didn't win both, but Eren Yeager did win best antagonist.
Hell yeah.
God damn it.
The meme won. I don't know. I feel like Shigaraki could have won after the My Villain Academia arc, but putting Eren up as a big meme was just too tempting for too many people.
Here's the thing, like, watching Eren in Part 2 makes me feel like Eren in Part 1 is not that big of an antagonist.
True. And then Odokawa from Odd Taxi, Mr.
Yes.
Won. Honestly, Ranking of Kings makes me just fucking love Boji. I'm sad, but I think he won Best Boy. I don't remember, but like Boji is excellent.
I love Odd Tax, but I still think Eren is in general a better protagonist, despite everything.
I can't believe Odd Taxi actually won this category and Eren didn't win both. I'm genuinely shocked. We're almost there. Best character design, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Really?
Okay. I thought Vivi was pretty great, and
everything else had beat Jujutsu here. I'm not sure why this one won.
Funny enough, Ranking of Kings, even though it has that weird art style, they really go out of their way to make every single character super recognizable.
Oh yeah, everyone I see in clips just looks like very unique. Like there's no bland character anymore.
I can understand not being a huge fan of the art style. I won't begrudge anybody that. But like, you watch this show and you're like, I know who this is instantaneously. Whether or not it's good, I guess, it's kind of simple, but at the same time, Jujutsu Kaisen is another shonen about kids in high school, and half of them wear what is a slight, cool, quirky modification of a black jumpsuit.
Yeah, it's what I like to call the bleach prom, where everyone wears the exact same thing.
Yeah. So I don't know if I agree with that, and like I said, Vivi is one of the pretty big ones for last year. Big surprise, the director of Odd Taxi won. That is not surprising.
Deserved. Oh man.
The only thing I guess you could say is Attack on Titan, even though like the CGI and everything, it seems like it was directed pretty well. Attack on Titan Part 1, and then Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 was also directed well. And obviously, but Odd Taxi just seems to live or die on its direction across the board, so
Pretty much.
yeah, so that's not crazy. Best score, honestly, I didn't remember any of these. I remember songs from a bunch of these, but not the score, but whatever, Demon Slayer, it's fine. It's Demon Slayer.
I think it's the only one I actually remember any of the soundtrack songs for, and it's just because it's all remixes of the exact same song.
Best girl, fucking Kugisaki from Jujutsu.
These shonen normies are infiltrating.
I mean, the flip side is if it's a show about a girl, like, trying to make a girl look like I mean, like, Komi-san seems too obvious. Like, the show is built to make you vote for Komi-san. Like, that seems like it's too pandering. Honestly, I could have seen... No, Kugisaki's... Nobara's more interesting, I guess, than the girl from 86. Best boy was Boji. Absolutely the most deserved on this list. Not even a question.
I'm not surprised. I feel like he's the living definition of this title.
Yes, Boji is Val's Insta Bean when the show started. Like, Boji is best boy. It's hilarious to think that Senku is even on this fucking list compared to someone like Boji.
Something was wrong with this list because both the picks from Tokyo Avengers, neither are good boys at all. They're both awful.
Amazing.
I love his characters, just not good boys.
Best ending sequence, Demon Slayer.
What? Get out of here.
It's because it's Lisa.
This is ridiculous. I don't even remember what the ending sequence looks like.
Sure don't either. Best opening, Attack on Titan Part 1. Yo, is it crazy to say no one here out of the... Obviously, Aiden hasn't been watching, but like out of the three of us who've been watching, none of us were huge fans of the Attack on Titan opening for Part 1?
No, I loved it.
Oh, you did?
We discussed this both sides where you say it's garbage. I'm like, no, I listened to it. I like it.
It's like, I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it either.
Like, it took a while to grow on me before I started really enjoying it.
I don't know. I just like Rumbling is just such an insta banger, and this wasn't for me. And not gonna lie, if I'm looking at this list, I listened to the Dragon Maid opening way more than any of the other ones on this list.
I definitely recommend listening to the full version of Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1 opening, just because, especially with really good headphones, the instrumentation for the last bit is really, really good, where there's just these layers building through the last chorus. Like, the whole song, if you just, like, listen to it not as an anime opening, as an actual song, is very interesting to listen to. So, that's why I like it.
Best animation stolen from multiple people goes to Demon Slayer, Kimetsu, like, Mugen Train.
Damn, all for one flamey sword sequence.
Yeah,
I mean, Demon Slayer's got some real nice animation.
It really does, and it's really gorgeous, but, like, man, like, I think about the Mugen Train arc, and then I think of all of Vivi, and I'm just like, man, Vivi was just so good. And Jujutsu Kaisen even was, like, pretty good. Dragon Maid's kind of cheap.
Multiple fights who were in contention with us for best fight animation, and it had, like, 3 of those, equivalent to roughly a third of this movie's length.
Like, the whole fight from the end of Demon Slayer was not on the best fights of the show. like best fights of the year nominees. But
I thought that and the Toto fight were the two that were...
No. I said from Demon Slayer.
Oh, Demon Slayer, sorry. I misheard
the Demon Slayer finale was not even on that best fight list. Which is... Am I misremembering completely already?
Hold on, I'm scrolling down for you.
Best fight scene. Yeah, it totally wasn't on there. Demon Slayer didn't even make it onto best fight scene.
I mean, like, what would you classify that as? Just like
the finale fight?
No, but like, what would you name the fight? Would it just be Rengoku versus
whatever the number 3's name is? Yeah. What do you mean? Anyway, but yeah, Demon Slayer won. Woohoo! Whatever. I look forward to Demon Slayer winning next year when the entertainment arc gets nominated and wins the fucking category. To be fair, though, the arc does deserve it. Like, we'll talk about that in the watch, though.
You killed everything in 2021. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Hold on, did you see the year yet?
No. Anime of the year. Oh, I thought you were going to do like a drum roll on your sound thing.
Well, no, sorry. I have sound
fine.
suppression on, so it won't pick it up.
Oh. It is Attack on Titan, the final season, part 1.
Yay! Let's go!
God.
Like, I begrudgingly gave it to this one. I wish I could take it back and give it to Odd Taxi.
I wish I could. I wish ranking. It sucks that Ranking of Kings was thrown on everything because it's not fucking done yet, unless they're going to call it like Core 2 this year. But I don't know. Attack on Titan season part 1, final season part 1, whatever. It was good, whatever.
It was good, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing around. All right, so there we go. We went through all the Crunchyroll winners. Freeman, why don't you just blast us with some normal news?
All right, cool, normie shit. So we talked about last week that a Jujutsu announcement was coming. Well, it came. Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 is totally happening, and Studio Mappa is still definitely working on it. I think they confirmed 2023 for it, so we're gonna be waiting a little bit.
We have the movie soon, since we didn't get to see it yet.
Yep, coming out soon in the U.S. Breaking records. I'm not reporting on it because I learned my lesson about reporting on sales figures of Japanese theatrical releases. We don't do that here. Speaking of not theatrical releases, there's a lot of speculation after Demon Slayer Season 2 ending. Would they try and do another movie? And we got the hard confirmation, don't worry, we're doing a Season 3.
Thank fucking God.
We got Season 3 going. A lot of people are speculating that with just 26 episodes, they could, in theory, get through the rest of the franchise, which I have no idea about. I don't read the manga. But hopefully they treat it right.
Not for nothing. The way the entertainment arc was literally 5 episodes of a fight scene in a row. I would really hope they would stretch it out a little more.
So I asked my buddy to confirm, like, hey, so everyone's talking about the last arc is like literally just a fight, is it? He's like, well, it's mostly fighting. I'm like, all right, cool. So it just boils down to how long are they going to spend on each fight. Like, you could, in theory, if you need to cut down an episode, you could cut a couple sword clash scenes here and there to like trim a bit off each episode if you needed to. Again, I don't want them to, but I feel like maybe they can make it work. Either way, this is the next one I was so shocked about. So I think it was either yesterday or Sunday morning. I wake up and I see Classroom of the Elite Season 2 announced. And my first thought was that it was that isekai called Even High School Prodigies Have It Easy in Another World. I was like, why is this garbage getting another season? I'm like, oh, no. It's a different show. It's the same idea of a high school class full of like this super elite, but it's not an isekai. They just rule the actual world. And anyway, I was like, all right, I guess this is happening. And then immediately the anime meme subreddit is just exploding with shit about it. Threads are popping up left and right. And I'm sitting here like, was this some show that I just completely missed? I go and I look it up. It has almost an 8 on Mal, given that most like shows of this variety hover in the 7 or lower range. I'm like, maybe this is this hidden, not really gem that a lot of people really liked. But I feel like I haven't heard anything about this. Have you guys?
No, not at all.
Nope.
Man, it's just flying under my radar these days. Anyway, speaking of stuff not flying on any radar, Attack on Titan final season part 2, episode 12, aka episode 87, is going to get delayed by a week. There's some type of broadcast event, so the TV station is like, all right, we're pushing it back a week. This is not as far as you know, it's not an 86 type scenario where it's like pushed back and they can't reschedule. Only doing like one episode for 1 week was apparently fine. This is not a production delay. That said, they did not confirm if this episode 12 will be the final episode of the season or not. So everyone's kind of like, are they really delaying the finale?
Oh my God.
Like, it's fine. It's not the finale. They're just going to go for more than 12 episodes. And everyone's screaming and crying. And all I know is not April 3rd. The week before that, be upset because there's not going to be any Titan that week. And then
it's okay. We'll have some 86 scattered in March to tide us over a little bit.
Is it just one episode that's supposed to come out, or is it more than
2?
That?
It's March 5th.
2?
March 5th is a recap episode, and then the 2 Saturdays after that are the final 2 episodes of the season.
Oh boy! All right, so next week I'm catching up on the last 3 episodes of 86 I haven't seen. Anyway, last thing. Big. I guess it's sort of a good announcement for us as anime only to this, but the Fire Force manga ended last week, and at the end of that not volume, at the end of that particular weekly manga release, they said big announcement for the franchise coming very soon. So this could mean one of a few things. First one,
not going to be the good one.
Mobile game.
Yeah.
I doubt it for an ended manga franchise. No, some type of video game potentially. Most likely is just David Production is going to be done working on JoJo at that point in time, and is going to be like, okay, cool, we'll go do another season of Fire Force.
Please, I would like more Fire Force.
It's really ambiguous what David Production is doing because, like, in a normal timeline, JoJo finishes production in like 12 weeks. But because it's in some weird Netflix type scenario, only 12 episodes are out. And supposedly the next 12 are air quotes done, and there's been no news about them, and we don't know what's going to happen with the last 12. So I don't know what David Production is doing, if they have time to pick anything up, but I'd like some conclusions to Fire Force. I really want to know, is this an Adola burst once and for all?
I knew it. I fucking knew it as soon as you were saying, I want to know.
Gotta get that meme in one more time. That was it.
Speaking of memes, you know what's a big meme? The spinning guy with the blaster in Book of Boba Fett's finale.
Oh God!
Spin to win is a known strategy.
I am Boba Fett of Tatooine.
Tatooine.
We have talked about this finale so many times because it aired right after the last podcast. Like, off camera, we have talked about at least 3 distinct conversations talking about this show. And every time it starts with Tyler going, man, I really didn't like this show.
Yeah.
But I'll say it. I enjoyed the finale for all the wrong reasons. Like, I acknowledge it's bad, but I still enjoyed it. Like, this is the same sensation. Like, when I watch a trash anime and I see the shittiest ending possible, I'm sitting there giggling at it. Like, that's how I felt for most of Boba Fett. I just, like... It's such a clash between cool shit. By the way, can I just say I fucking called the Rancor thing? You did.
1,000,000%.
The second I'm like, damn, Tim was right.
Absolutely. There was no other option here. Man, it's like half of it was so cool and half of it was so fucking lame. Like, I can't turn my brain off enough to be like, yeah, look at all these people running from these super droidicas. I don't know the name of them. These giant droidicas running down the street, and they're just blasting like fucking walls all over the place, and these people are just running. Like, why did Robert Rodriguez have to direct another episode of this show?
Right.
Like, all the pieces were there. The whole shootout when Mando and Boba fly out of the thing was awesome. Boba did the knee shot again, like fucking going back to back, doing like spinning around, shooting guys out of everywhere. Like, it was great. And then it just felt so fucking cheap when the little speeder bike full of people from the town is like, now the army's here. Like, this is 10 people on a speeder. And the fucking, oh my God, I'm never going to forget these Vespa kids that are the worst fucking characters.
Oh my God, terrible.
Amazing. Greatest addition to the franchise ever. They need their own spin-off. They need a spin-off mobile battle royale game. This second, Star Wars.
Can I also just say, they couldn't have put less effort into making it look like Cobb Vanth was dead. they never once was anyone even sort of like, yes, he's dead. Never.
Here's the thing, though. Like, when I saw Phantom Menace, I was like, okay, Darth Maul's dead. Star Wars fans didn't see it that way.
No, he was. I still think it was one of the. It was like I'm glad that everyone enjoyed his character and everything. I still think it's silly for him to have lived through that. But hey, at least they explain it. Unlike somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Oh God,
Star Wars is an 8-movie franchise.
But yeah, Book of Boba Fett overall, the Mandalorian episodes were pretty good. Although I will say, definitely sad Grogu is back already. As much as it sounds heartless to say that, like it's like, man, I wish they were apart longer. How, like, I saw a lot of comments on Reddit that makes sense. You know, for people who don't really care about Boba, could you imagine watching season 2 of The Mandalorian and then season 3 of The Mandalorian? Like,
and just being like suddenly
suddenly Grogu returned. Like,
so I feel like Disney
downplayed everything that was important from the first 2 seasons.
But like Disney realized people don't care. They'll do this in the MCU. They'll have characters just show up in other movies where if you didn't see their movie,
sure,
it won't
and that's fine.
sense.
But like, why couldn't Mando have just showed up and done his own thing, and then in the middle of season 3 we go get Grogu back or something like that? Like, give us any time to re-explore. Like, the beginning of Mandalorian was fucking great before Grogu was in the show.
Oh yeah, I was hoping season 3 would just be Mando
That's
being
what I'm
Mando
saying.
on his
I
own.
wish even if this was the plan, like, let us have a couple episodes with just Mando dealing with, like, the Darksaber and everything. We don't need him protecting Grogu and having Grogu involved the whole time.
I'm pretty sure the merchandising team made an executive decision on the
I'm
writing
sure
for this.
they fucking did. The amount of Baby Yoda merch my mother-in-law bought Val and I for, like, it's ridiculous. There was 2 Christmases ago, every fucking present from that family was just shit that was fucking Baby Yoda. But, like, I don't know. There was cool stuff, but one of the least good parts of the show was Boba Fett himself, which really sucks.
Real quick, I need to get the sound file on my phone, so every time we come over after your child is born, we'll just play the sound clip of, I would like to see the baby.
I would like to see the baby. But yeah, so Book of Boba Fett ended, and we're all kind of disappointed to various extents. But you know what? No one's disappointed by the end of Demon Slayer Red Light District arc. We're going with the real name, not the fake name.
It's Entertainment District.
No, it's Red Light District, and everyone knows it.
Even though we were only in the Red Light District for like an episode and a half.
For a whole show where an entire half of a season is just one long fight scene, this season was fucking great. You know, we were talking about during the Anime Awards, like, you know, oh, there's no way. Like, Ufotable, we understand they're flexing. Like, yeah, they know what they're doing. And then the shit...
tax evasion money.
This... The shots in this fucking fight, and especially the last 2 episodes, is just so above and beyond ridiculously exciting and good.
It was stunning. Beautiful.
Like,
amazing.
Actually ridiculous how much is popping off on screen and looking stellar at the same time.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Like, anytime Tengen is doing something, it's just the most...
He truly is the greatest Naruto character.
It's just so dumb how much stuff is happening at all times. And this fight is ridiculous. Like, the fact that at the beginning of the first fight, in the beginning of the fight, Tanjiro gets his shoulder cut open to, like, the fucking bone, and he's still fighting 5 episodes later.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's so dumb. But
I do think it's funny how, like, this show, like, it's like, oh, you know, it's very serious when someone gets injured, and I'm like, y'all
Not when Tanjiro does.
Except when arms get cut off, and it's just like, nah, dude, keep going.
Yeah, like, okay.
Tyler, the answer is just set your heart ablaze.
I guess so. Yeah, true.
I'm sad that we don't have Val or Leslie here, because both of them would probably have an audible reaction to that one. No, but yeah, I mean, Demon Slayer was top to bottom excellent season. Thank goodness we have the teaser trailer for season 3 that is literally 2 pieces of artwork of the 2 Hashira we're gonna hang out with in the next arc, and that's all it is.
Giant wink to be like, hey, you can read the manga to find out what happens next, or you can wait.
Yeah, right.
That's the whole strategy.
I wonder if we're gonna get to the end. Do we already have, like, manga sales for last year done? I'm assuming we do, right?
Probably. I have no idea.
I'm just wondering if, like, we're going to get to the end of this year and Demon Slayer is still going to be the biggest fucking seller Japan has ever seen of anything, even though it's been done since last year.
I wonder.
I mean, Freeman, what was the
Piece is
phrase
so
you
huge.
used? Demon Slayer is, like, the 3rd biggest export from Japan, period.
Like 20% of their global economy was Demon Slayer and Demon Slayer paraphernalia.
Was pretty crazy, apparently.
All right, so in terms of best-selling series of 2021, Jujutsu Kaisen was number 1, but it only had Demon Slayer beat by like 1 million copies. Oh no, what? Yeah, no, 1 million copies. And then Tokyo Avengers, over Attack on Titan, over Hero Academia, and Hero Academia only beat One Piece by like 18,000.
It's weird to
Then
think of
Chainsaw Man,
5
then
shows
Spy X
beating
Family.
One Piece, though.
Yeah. I mean, One Piece, it might just be... Well, just to clarify, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia, and One Piece are all like within 300,000 volumes of each other. And then just because Tokyo Revengers, Demon Slayer, and Jujutsu Kaisen all had their like adaptations... Okay, outside of Demon Slayer. The rest had their first adaptation in the last year. So those 3 are all like fighting for the top.
Gotcha. But yeah, Demon Slayer was good. We can move on. Freeman, are we talking about Fate?
Yeah, we're talking about Fate real quick. So
God.
after screaming and crying about how they like hyped up in game, like we're releasing the movie on Funimation and Crunchyroll, go watch it, and then 3 weeks go by and it's still not there. They finally put it up last week. So it was like Thursday afternoon. They're like, guys, we're happy to announce Crunchyroll's getting on Saturday, and then Funimation's like, we're also happy to announce that Funimation's getting it a day earlier. So I was like, damn, okay, whatever. So Saturday, I watched the whole movie. For anyone who doesn't watch Fate, this was supposed to be like the Avengers Endgame of the Fate universe. Like, they're fighting the big bad dude at the end of the first story arc, and they just start summoning every servant who's helped them at this point in the story, who's like, this is like 50 of them. All summoned, all having crazy cool combat scenes. And it would have been crazy cool, except they decided to not bring all the voice actors in to record all the lines for all the characters during the fight scenes. So, like, a lot of them are just, like, it's not silent, but just no one's talking during any fight scene. And it just came off as, like, Cloverworks didn't want to go 100% on this.
Oh, no.
Like, they tried really hard. The animation was solid, but it's just, like, I feel like it was tricky to adapt, because the story chapter there of the game they're trying to adapt is literally just all boss fights. So it's like, well, how do you do a boss fight movie? And it's like, well, if you give, like, each fight their own, like, time to breathe, as opposed to cutting between 8 different fights over and over and over again. So overall, bad direction, awful movie. Still makes me wonder why people are so obsessed with Fate when this is the best kind of movie we can get outside of someone who's not ufotable. So overall sucks. Can't wait for the next one.
Damn.
And the next one, this one I finished today. So I finished watching Odd Taxi. And for context, I wasn't going to watch this one when it came out. And then IGN gave it Anime of the Year. And then New York Times gave it Anime of the Year. Then Luigi gave it Anime of the Year. And then my brother, who watched anime in high school, doesn't watch anime anymore, messages me, hey man, you gotta watch Odd Taxi. It's the best anime I've seen in years. So I'm like, all right, there's something to this show. Let me watch it. So I watch episode 1. It's okay. And then I get to like episode 4, and I'm like, whoa, everything from episode 1 has like mattered way more than I thought. And every episode it keeps happening. You realize there's more and more layers to this story. There's more shit going on. And then going into the last episode, I was like, I don't know, this might be a 9. I don't know what everyone's smoking. Like, it's not screaming 10 out of 10, but it's really good. And then I watched the last episode and I'm like, oh my goodness. And now I understand. I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. If you're afraid of this being a furry anime, do not be concerned. It's not. It also almost doesn't feel like an anime. It's just a really well-crafted story is the best way to describe it. But overall, a definite must-watch. This is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Okay.
It might be a furry anime.
Do you think I should watch it with Val or just watch it?
You can watch with Val. There's nothing that's going to turn her off. I don't know if she'll love it. Like, you have to be a fan of like paying attention to the dialogue, because the show is just all talking. It's just people living their lives and talking. So yeah, that's the one warning I got for that.
Okay.
All right.
And Tyler, it is not a furry anime.
I know. I'm just, man.
I just want to make sure you
meme.
understand. I'm not like memeing that it's not. Like it's not.
I know. I'm paying attention. I'm
All right,
listening to your words.
But coming off the back of a really good recommendation, I'm gonna go into a show that I recommend people don't watch.
Oh.
So I finished watching Tac Destiny.
Oh.
This is a blatant prequel bait for the mobile game that's coming out. The sole purpose of this show is to get you emotionally invested in one of the characters and then get rid of them, so that way they can introduce the protagonist of the mobile game.
Freeman, we watched 2 episodes of this before we got on for the podcast.
Abort.
I want to finish this show.
Abort. It's not worth.
No, come
It's meant to get you to like the day this episode airs, pick up your phone and play the gacha game that's coming out. Except, they missed the release window and it's still not out anywhere.
Maybe I'll just start playing the mobile game because you have one, Luigi has one. Maybe I should just
you
finally
can't.
have
It's
one.
still not out. Like
Yeah,
we're going to
but-
be 6 months out from the promotional material ending before there's the game they're trying to promote coming out because they screwed it up. Anyway, the show is pretty animation. If you want to see that, that's what I had, and that was about it. And then a quick normie recommendation here. So I finished watching the show on Hulu called Only Murders in the Building, starring Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. I know, wild lineup.
lineup.
But if quick, like one sentence description of the plot: these three people live in the same apartment building. They all love true crime podcasts, and then suddenly there's a murder in their building, and they're like, we can solve this. That's the basic gist of it. It was pretty interesting. If you need something to watch with your normie friends, perhaps give this a shot. I thought it was decent. They tried way too hard to set themselves up hard for season 2, and they're getting a season 2, so hopefully it'll pay off. But it's just like they intentionally left themselves a lot of hooks for season 2, and it was kind of annoying that they left them all open. But other than that, great story.
Cool.
All right. Good.
All right, Tyler, what have you been up to?
I've been watching a lot of stuff, but I haven't finished anything. Except for I beat Soma today before the podcast.
Wow.
How long did it
Yeah.
take you to beat?
My slow ass, it took me 12 hours. It's really like an 8 to 10 hour game. But
Yeah,
Gosh,
for real.
is it
I don't
just
know
that
how you do shit like that.
It did just take you a while to beat it, or were you like trying to do everything?
No, I think because like there are plenty of times where like I would pause the game to like go get something to eat and like come back. I think that's what the deal was, I think. Though there's a lot of times where like I was stroking out, I guess, and I just am not paying attention. I feel like these days, the more older I get, man, the slower I am. Because Aiden sees me like struggling on really like easy shit, and it's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm like having problems. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, was it? I guess I should have my short review on it. It's good. It made me question things more critically about like, oh, what is it? Like if like would I back up my brain to a computer? Maybe. Would I be mad if that copy got to live on in space? Probably not, especially if someone already warned me about it.
Wait, real quick, is
But
the game asking about the morality, or it's just making you think about it because it's being
oh
presented?
no, it's making you think about it. The game doesn't say whether one thing is good or not. In fact, like it shows you read about a whole bunch of people who think it's a good thing, think it's a bad thing, and then for the people who do think it's a good thing, who thinks that it's their only existence. So it's like you got people who think like, oh, like that's just another me, whatever. You have other people who right after they copy themselves, they kill themselves, thinking that like that is the real them, right? You have people
Yeah.
questioning like, am I the real one? Are they the copy? Are they the real one? Am I like some inferior thing? Like it goes on and on and on, and it's like that. I think that's what the whole game was about. Actually, that's not what I think that is what the whole game is about. Just with
Gotcha.
an amnesia skin. But yeah. I see why Aiden liked it. It's pretty good.
Out of
I
10,
like
what
it.
would you give it?
Um, man, if I could give this two separate scores, I would, because the narrative is like a 10. Or sorry, a 9. It is not a perfect 10, but it is, I would say it's a 9 simply because it makes you think and it gives you things to talk about. And I feel like that's very strong about a story where like it gives people things to talk about for days to come, and like you reference it back a bunch. Gameplay loop. I've never been a fan of these gameplay loops where it's like, oh, you walk around, you hide from the spoopy things. Don't look at the spoopy things or else you'll go crazy. All right, run from the spoopy thing. All right, you made it to the next area. Pick up some documents, learn some lore, hide from the spooky thing. Repeat.
Stop describing a whole genre.
I know. Well,
mean,
it was at. I'll say in frictional games' defense, they did popularize that, so I can't even be mad like too much. I'm like, man, literally all of their games are like this, and I'm not mad. Like, I don't need combat for like me to enjoy a game, but I was hoping that I would get like a little bit more variety out of like maybe doing some puzzles or something. I don't know. Like some of the puzzles like were actually cool, like the exploring and like interacting, trying to like get all these systems up and running. I feel like it wasn't utilizing as many of the physics mechanics as I thought it would, or some of like the ideas of like copying your mind, right? I kind of wish you did more of that. Because I feel like you only do it like once, and like obviously they're all scripted. But yeah, I talked about this game enough.
Fine,
It's
you have
it's,
too
it's
long.
It's
good.
fine.
If you like sci-fi and pondering one's existence and maybe getting an existential crisis, then like it's for you.
All in one game.
All in one game. Or was it what review did I see on it? It was like top review. I played this game. I I played this game to get scared and instead I got depressed.
Yep.
I was like, damn.
I mean,
Sounds about right.
you know, it do be like that though.
It do be like that. I'm
I'm
still
back once
curious
again. You keep
about.
going.
Yeah, I forgot. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. It's pretty good.
It's a good game. It's a
Yeah.
great game, even.
Oh yeah, here's a quote. When you want to get some scares, but you end up with depression. Goddamn.
I mean, I enjoyed it specifically because it was a very thought-provoking experience for me.
Yeah, it's cool. You think
Um,
about, man, would I back? And then I started asking everybody this. I asked Val this. I asked Michelle this. I'm like, yo, would you back up your brain? And they're like, well, how? And so I would go into like, well, hypothetically speaking, if a meteor hit Earth and we had to back up our brains and like that was it, like would you be cool with that? And then the answers all range from like, yeah, probably I'm like cool with that to like I'm cool with it, but I know that I wouldn't be, I'd be obviously very different from the other one to like absolutely the fuck not. Like it's cool.
good stuff.
Yeah, this is yeah, that's all I got. I also bought it for like $4. It was on sale for Lunar New Year, so I was like, why not?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
apparently a
How'd you
steal. It's
play it?
back up to $30.
Wowzers.
I figured that it would be a game that you'd at least enjoy the narrative of. I knew you were kind of not gonna really dig the whole gameplay loop, but that's not what Soma's about.
No, the narrative is what truly like if anybody plays it, like I would recommend it to anybody who's like into sci-fi and like the whole like AI deal.
Mm-hmm.
But like as far as gameplay goes, like whatever. Because like some parts I'm like, yo, I'm running from this thing, or like it's not 1000% clear on what to do, and it's like okay. But as far as narratives go, it's really good. I don't know. Would you guys back up your brain at all?
No, I wouldn't.
It's difficult to answer.
It
Why
depends
is
on the
it
moment,
feel like I'd
but I
want-
would like
feel
to
like
think
I want
no.
to back up, but I question how it would be utilized before I make an answer.
That's how I feel.
I feel like that's so. What's funny? I feel like that's such a hard question to answer because I feel like it's hard to distinguish what biological. How am I supposed to put this? Like, you guys know that my wrist has been bothering me for about a week or two because of moving all this stuff. That has probably had some minor effect on how I think and process things, but at the same time, as I heal, it affects me less. If my brain was backed up a week ago versus right now, would my brain be different enough?
Yes.
Like how much
Same
influence?
thing if you
I'm saying,
back
how do
someone
you?
at 5 years old versus today. Those
Yeah.
brains both think very differently.
And it would be different, but then how do you pick exactly what brain you want to save?
I mean, you guys are assuming the backups are this robust. Like, I'm assuming it's just going to be a continuous video feed.
Then I would never.
It's like, yes, I would love to back up all the shit I don't remember but still in my brain.
Okay, hold on. If I could supplement my memory with like an SSD and just like plug it in and be like, yo, I need to remember this shit and download my memories.
Review the footage.
Oh,
No,
I would
I'm not
kill
talking
to be
about
able to
that.
review memories, but that's not.
Oh,
I don't think
there's
that's what
there's a
Tyler's talking about at all.
There's a Black Mirror episode on that. It's pretty great. But
Oh, shit. I should
Yeah, it
watch.
is pretty great to pull up memories and look at them.
it's not.
Yeah, I know, Tyler. It's
I was
Black
like,
Mirror.
that's
Of course, it's bad.
Of course,
That's
it's all
the plot
bad.
twist.
No, except San Junipero. San Junipero has a good happy ending.
Does it though?
I think so.
Does it,
I
though?
mean, I guess it's matter of perspective, which also goes into consciousness copying.
Yeah, because you could be
Also,
fucked
speaking
and
of
left
which-
behind in the ocean forever with no way to die, or you could escape and go into a satellite and fly away.
I mean, get copied onto a satellite and fly away.
Same thing.
Oh man, is it the same thing?
I know. It's not.
Is it? Like,
It's-
oh man, San Junipero is fucking cool. I like that.
You know what game could have explored this a lot? Cyberpunk.
I mean, they do.
I don't
a little
know.
bit.
I'm
Actually,
just throwing
Michelle
it out
has
there.
a theory about V, that V is actually dead, and
Well,
that
he is. Isn't that the
yeah.
thing?
Well, you
Wait,
think
I thought Keanu's dead.
Keanu
Well,
is.
Keanu's dead, but you also
Be
die.
dead.
You also die, right? And the copy of your mind is fighting against Johnny Silverhand's consciousness for control of the body the
Oh.
entire game.
Well, spoilers. I haven't played this game yet.
The body's still
What do
alive.
you mean?
though.
That's the
They
premise
live-
of the game.
That's like that's the title card.
That is.
Like, what do
that
you
is
mean?
hard.
Like
Yeah.
that's like what?
This is
well,
all
I mean, I guess
news
it's a
to
long
me.
Opening sequence.
I didn't know
It's
any
like
of
a
this.
2-hour opening sequence.
I like how this game, like, depending on obviously like what.
Oh, we're talking
Like,
about Cyberpunk now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So going into more consciousness. So Aiden's playing Cyberpunk.
Yes,
again.
I am playing Cyberpunk 2077
Wow.
because it's a secret to nobody that patch 1.5 just dropped, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. There's real physics now. When you shoot water, the bullets splash.
I did see that trailer video. That was pretty funny. I had no idea before. It literally just disappeared into the water, and then they finally added splashes and shit.
Well, it's like, how often are you near? There's like you barely go near the water anyway. Like I remember there's a mission where you do go underwater for something. Oh no, there's the Judy mission, and then you go under there for like a small thing, but like, it's not like you shoot anything into the water or like shoot around the water. Unless they're trying to recreate that scene from Ghost in the Shell.
All right,
I mean-
you guys know that scene from SpongeBob with the "How am I supposed to eat this pizza without my drink?" That's how I feel about like every gamer complaining about water reflections.
I don't know. Have you seen Arceus?
Oh, I
Looks
have.
like ass.
I've just seen Pokemon.
That shit looks like a fucking like blue plastic pool that you see at like someone's house.
How are going
See, it
from
wouldn't
0
it
to
wouldn't look
100?
like that if they didn't pretend to have Pokemon swimming in it.
Yeah,
That just makes it worse.
dude, it's not good. But yeah, it's cool. I plan on starting a new save file now that I'm done with Soma.
Hell yeah! Join me on the streets of Night City.
Yeah, I don't know who to play as. I'm thinking of playing Street Kid though.
Didn't you play? Oh no, you
No, I
played.
played as Nomad the first
Nomad last
time.
Yeah. I mean, get
Michelle was
some of that sweet, sweet Pan Am ass.
Dude, well, no, yeah, this time I'm playing as male V because I played female V and Pan Am isn't a lesbian, so I was like,
True.
shit,
Get fucked.
this
nerd.
ain't gonna work.
I
And
mean,
everyone's like,
Judy
well,
is.
Judy is, but like,
Oh, tell
I
you don't
wasn't. I
like
wasn't
Judy.
digging. I wasn't digging Judy, man. Like, and then I ended up going with the guy because I'm like, I'm not gay, but like, IRL, but in game,
You could be anything in Cyberpunk.
exactly, exactly. But whatever. I went for him. Also, I was like, oh, he's pretty cool. Like, I'll do this romance option. Why not? But yeah, I don't know. I hope they add like they probably didn't add anything else either. But like, cause like the only other thing that is kind of keeping me from replaying the game is like I literally did everything in the game. Everything. There's nothing for me to do.
No rock unturned.
At least that I
Yeah.
know of. Like Aiden watched me play through literally the entire
You
game.
did put like 100 hours into it, or like 90 hours, or whatever it was.
Yeah, and like I did all the check marks at least. Like I don't know what else there is to find. Like if I'm missing it, then like I guess I'm missing it. But like all of like the main checks, like I've done already,
I mean, right now,
and
like
side missions. Yeah, and
there's
side missions and all the side jobs. Like I literally did everything.
they fixed a lot of the they fixed a lot of all the performance issues, and like the driving is fun now. And I think the game just feels better to play. I mean, I totally understand if you would be like, whatever, I don't want to do this again because you did 100% it. But it is
Yeah,
what it is. I'm having a very good time with Cyberpunk right now, though. It's like my little side game, at least until Elden Ring, the national holiday that is Elden Ring. And then once I get through Elden Ring, then I'll probably go back to Cyberpunk as like my slow burn, kind of like somebody else in here, Friedman, Witcher.
yeah.
I should really get back into that.
Literally the slowest burn fucking play of Witcher I've ever seen.
Look, I want to enjoy my time here, and it's a lot. It's a lot of time here.
Yeah, you're enjoying it, all right, by not
Hey,
playing it.
but when I do play it, I enjoy every second of it.
Yeah,
I love Witcher 3. I haven't beaten it. Every minute I play that game, I've enjoyed it, and I only stop playing it when I think I'm not going to enjoy it. So I only have good memories with this game.
well,
That
that's
was
good.
good. It was good.
It's an odd playing strategy. I realize I'm facing some heavy criticism for it, but I feel like it's way better than like how. So full disclosure, I'm having trouble like sticking to just one game for a long amount of time.
Welcome to my life, dude.
And like I'm starting to realize I just don't want to play JRPGs anymore because I've jumped through like 3 of them now, and none of them are scratching the itch they used to. So I think I just need to play more Witcher 3. Is what it is. Just play more action games.
Yeah, yeah.
That or just wait for Kirby in a month.
Yo, Kirby, I might pick that game up.
Hell yeah. But yeah, other than Cyberpunk, I'm replaying Sekiro to scratch my Demon Souls itch until.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm also playing Demon Souls. I finally fucking beat World 4 in Demon Souls, dude. It's taken me a year, but I
Jeez.
finally beat World 4. Holy shit, what a fucking struggle that was. So, yeah,
You're like,
Sekiro is a good game.
I'm playing Sekiro to scratch the Demon Souls itch, or sorry, Dark Souls itch, and then you're also playing. Like, at any given point, how many Souls games are you in?
For all of them. All of them. Okay. Now, my Demon Souls and Dark Souls are like, I don't know, they're different.
They're like your
It's
video
like,
game comfort food.
it's like a slow rhythmic dance of just combat mastery. But then you have Sekiro, which is like playing Guitar Hero, and I like that.
Phenomenal.
I'll know how that went on Sunday.
Yes, I'm way worse at Guitar Hero than I used to be. Hard is now
Yeah,
actually
same.
hard.
But yeah, that's it for me.
All right.
I don't think. I'm trying to think if. I mean, I mentioned. Yeah, I'm playing Minecraft for fun. I literally was just bored, and I was like, you know what? This is a nice, relaxing game for me to play on a weekend morning when I'm just quietly eating breakfast and catching up on some anime,
Oh,
I can
yeah.
just kind of literally dig into a wall and just dig tunnels and have fun. So
It's still a
that's what
good
I'm doing.
game. I just
The
get
tunnel.
my fill of it
You
from
know-
watching VTubers, so I don't have to actually play it
Get
myself.
my.
We've got Minecraft servers you could play on, Tim. You don't have to play by yourself.
Yeah, no,
Also
but
true.
no. I'm aware of that, and I mean, I could even, now that I'm getting ready to start recording again, do like a stream or something and play with people.
If you host a game, I would gladly do multiplayer for a stream or some type of let's play shit.
Sure, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
let's
it's
fire up a
literally.
server, dude. We can
like-
let's go.
No, I'm completely down for that. I'm just saying, like, with how hectic it's been the last few weeks, waking up on Saturday morning, Val's still asleep for a few hours, booting up Minecraft, listening to the very calming music, and just kind of,
Oh, yes.
hammering away at a
It's
wall
therapeutic.
is
It is
very.
therapeutic.
It's the one little bit of peaceful quiet I get in the most days. So
Oof.
that was very enjoyable.
Your impression is actually really good, Tyler.
It's great. I don't even play mine shit.
Oh no,
Wow.
that's so
Fuck you,
mean, man.
Tyler. It's a good game.
You don't have to
Nah,
play
I know.
Minecraft to be a Steve fan. Smash taught us that you can love Fire Emblem despite never having heard of the franchise.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I haven't really. I'm trying to think. There's no other shows that have finished, so
No, we're in the middle of a season.
yeah. But yeah, so I don't think anybody has anything else. So
No,
I-
we're all good. Let's
wow, we
wrap
can
it up.
an hour,
Time to
tight
wrap up.
hour and a half. Wow, can we find something to talk about for another 40
Thank
minutes?
God,
No,
I'm fucking
no.
exhausted, please.
All right, we'll
Bro, I
end
was
a
already
nice.
napping before the podcast. I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
need to go back
We'll
to
have
sleep.
a nice short end. So, check back at the channel soon for some Aiden and Tim videos coming out in the next few days. Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah, let's go.
But-
Let's go. We're gonna become the Elden Lords. Let's go.
Man, I really hope it's good. And,
Yeah,
I
it'll
do
be
too,
good.
considering I just
It'll
paid
be-
$60 for it and it was preloading while we were recording the podcast. So,
We have a vested interest in the success of this video game.
but until next time, my name is Timpedia,
I'm Friedman.
just Tyler.
The Amazing AIDS.
and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.